Hey everybody, it's Jeff with Chief Classics. I've got kind of a hectic week this week. I've got to do some stuff around the shop that's not really great car content material. This stuff's kind of boring. It's really important to do, but unfortunately boring and it's not super entertaining. It's not even fun for me to do. So I'll show you what I got going on, and then we'll give you a little teaser of some things to come. We'll go over to one of the buildings we got and we'll give you a tour. Here's the first thing that's got to get done. I got my Pontiac 10,000 AP lift. Viviano and I got it mounted to the floor, bolted up, but I got shorted a parts package on this thing. I don't have any hardware, so the nice folks at Pontiac didn't squeal at all when I told them about that. They're getting hardware sent to me, so as soon as I get that, I'll be able to finish tying this thing up. And the other thing I'm working on is this 07 Classic GMC 2500 HD 6-liter 4x4 automatic quad cab long bed. Came out of California. I believe my uncle bought it new and drove it to work for several years. It has like 320,000 on it, but was very well taken care of, and as you can see, it's got rocker panels still. It's not totally beat up. Interior's in good shape, it's just a little dirty, but it's gonna make a great work pickup. I need to put an engine in it. Still runs, but the oil pressure is getting really low, so went over to O'Reilly's and got this 6-liter long block. Gonna shove that in there and see how that treats us. I've never done an engine swap on one of these before, but I have had a handful of these pickups. I love them to death. They're relatively easy to work on and very reliable, so nothing's really coming as a surprise so far. So I gotta get the lift done, and I gotta go over to O'Reilly's now and just buy a slew of parts for this thing. I'm really excited to have this thing running and driving good. It's gonna be really nice to have around. It's got a receiver hitch, and it's got a 5th wheel ball in the bed. Nice aggressive 10-ply tires. I mean, this thing is, for 320,000 miles in California, it is darn good. All right, let's boogie on over to O'Reilly's and then I'll give you guys a tour. Well, here we are. So a lot of these cars, they got worked on before I had my YouTube channel. So a lot of these got running, oh gosh, over a year ago probably. And they've just kind of been waiting. So I suppose we'll start in the middle, we'll work our way out. So this is a pretty rare car here. This is a 67 Pontiac Grand Prix convertible. 67 was the only year that they made Grand Prix convertibles, and there was something like 5,800 of them made, and I really like this car. It's got the Kelsey Hayes 8-lug wheels. It's a 400 automatic car. It's got the cornering lamps, which are pretty darn rare. What else does this thing have going for it? Fender skirts, which are always cool on these things. It's got a red top. Now, I don't know if that was an original color that was available for these. I've never seen red. Triple red, red on red on red. Now, it's had some of the interior painted to be even more red. There were some parts that I think were originally black that were painted red for the sake of, well, more red. We got an 8-track player. This thing have tilt. Yeah, it's got a tilt column. Yeah, so it's got some cool options. The 8-track player allegedly works, and the stereo, I know it does work, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, super cool car. Bought it off an auction. I think all I really had to do to this thing was put a carburetor on it. But thing's freaking cool. It's a really good driver too. But we are not going to keep it because we have plenty of 67 convertible Grand Prix. So one day I'll come up with a price on it. We're working on getting our dealer license. So once we have a dealer license, we'll be able to move some of this stuff. But until then, I'm not going to sell anything. I am absolutely going to wait until we got the dealer license. Yeah, check these things out. They got the cool hideaway headlights. These are some gnarly looking cars. And this is like, I think the 400s were 350 horse. So things no slouch. Here's one that is totally unlike the rest of the cars we have. This is a 72 Chrysler Newport. Bought it off the original owner. It's an original 440 4-barrel automatic 8 3/4 posi heavy duty suspension, and it's really darn straight. It's had body work done at some point. It's got a couple patches around the rear wheel wells, but other than that, that was all that I could find. The bottom of this car is about perfect. This is my biggest complaint with it, but in the trunk is a new vinyl top. It didn't even really rust. There's a little bit of pitting, but this is still really solid. It's an incredibly clean car. The interior is really good too. Yeah, look at that, eh? It's not a super high option car, but it's a really good driving, clean, original car. Oh, what is the mileage on this thing? 80,000 miles. It was an was it an air car? Yeah, I think it's an air car too. But yeah, it doesn't even look like it really got sat in. Like, the carpet is a little dingy in spots, but the rest of it is just awesome. Doesn't even look like the back seat got sat in. Story was a doctor in Iowa bought it new. He lived out in the country and on a paved road, and he wanted to be able to get to work fast. So he bought a 440 4-barrel car, and it's got highway gears in it, so it's a mover and a shaker. It's a interstate cruiser. And we put some like Keystone Raider wheels on it or something like that. This thing, this son of a gun is rare. This is a 67 Pontiac Catalina 2+2 428 4-speed car. And this is a documented 428 4-speed 2+2. We've got the PHS documents on it. This one's not going to be for sale. Never ever. So my business partner, he tried to buy this car like 25 years ago, and he said that when he saw it, there was pretty much paint missing and rust like this high up on it, like halfway up the side of the car. And I don't know why he didn't buy it, I don't remember, but the fella that did buy it 25 years ago ended up restoring it, and he is moving and had to get rid of the car. So by some crazy stroke of luck, he was able to finally get his hands on it after it's been restored. Look at them big old 428 badges. It's got scallops on the fender and an original hood tack. Like I said, everything on this car is as it should be. I just love this colored blue with the white top. It is so pretty. Again, not a crazy high option car, except when it comes to drivetrain. It's got a lot of manual stuff in it. It's got a tilt column though. And we got a 4-speed. Check it out, 428 on the console. Yeah, this car gets down. These are, what was this thing? I'm pretty sure it's a 376 horse 428. We got top, speaker, power antenna. Look at that hood tack. Will this thing light up? Yeah, check that out. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, these were hot rods. These 2+2s were mean mothers. They're big cars. They're just gigantic boats, but they ride great and they have a lot of power. Yeah, this is for 67. I'm pretty sure this is 376 horse. We'll move on to this side. Here we have another 67 Catalina convertible. It's just a base Catalina. Not a lot of options on this thing. I need to get those dang steel wheels off the front of it. It looks like hell. I need to find 2 more 5x5 rallies. Needs buffed. Paint's kind of tired, but it's really solid. I think the interior is in good shape. Yeah, it's just basic black interior, column shift. Not really any options aside from the convertible top, really. That's not bad. It needs door cards. The carpet's kind of tired, but seats aren't bad. This thing needs a tune-up or dial in or something really bad. I think all that I ever did to this thing was put gas in it. Somebody put a 67, I believe, 428 in it. Let's see if I can get this hood open. How do you open these things? Yeah, so this thing has the, oh my goodness, hold on a second. This car also has, oh, it might be a 360 horse. I can't remember if it has a 376 or 360 horse 428 in it, but aftermarket intake, that's probably the extent of stuff that's done to it. Seemed to run good, but it didn't really want to idle for some reason, but once you got into it, boy, this thing moved out. Power brake, power steering. This is going to be one that we end up selling. We've got really no reason to keep it. This thing. 75 Pontiac Grand Am. So this thing used to still have the about half of the nose cone on it until I brought it home on the trailer, and then it just disintegrated. I don't know what's up with these noses, but they get super brittle over time. But this is a darn rare car. So this car came from the same fella that had this 2+2. He bought this car new, and in 84, 85, there was a flood and a retaining wall fell on it. So the hood, the fender, and the door got beat up, which is sad because this thing is super straight otherwise. It's had body work and paint done at some point, but it's still relatively clean. And this is like my favorite driving car in the building. Like this car, if I was gonna commit a bank robbery, this is 1000% the car that I would drive, because this thing handles so well and it's got such good power, and you can just throw this thing around corners. It is an absolute ball. Grand Am. I'll show you the piece de resistance with this thing though. 7.4. I don't know why they called it 7.4, because I'm pretty sure that they're 7.5s, but this is a 455 car. This is a bad mother. This thing runs so freaking good too, and the interior is just exquisite. The seats have cracks at the stitching, but I mean, what do you expect with these things? But it's got full instrumentation. It's got this really cool, gosh, it's some sort of like African wood dash, but yeah, check it out. Tack and everything. Tilt column, console, buckets, 8-track, AC. This thing got a bunch of options thrown at it. I guess having one of these with a tack is just unheard of. Well, we got delay wipers too. So we pretty much got all the options except for power windows and locks, which I'm glad it doesn't have. But Yeah, the dash is awesome. It's got a headliner in it still. We got the opera light. Back seat doesn't ever look like it was even sat in. Yeah, the interior of this thing is just spectacular. I love this car. This is such a great driving car. I'm really on the fence as to whether or not I want to sell this thing. I don't know. I have a feeling that it's one of those things where it's worth more to me than anybody else. Plus it has my wheels on it. I've got the original wheels for it. The tires were just junk and I have these center lines laying around, so I figured what the hell. But yeah, this thing is so incredibly cool. I just love it to death. Why is my door open? Yeah, this thing is killer. This would totally be worth the effort to restore. I love it. I have no idea what these cars are worth because you don't see them. I don't know what happened to them. They get turned into race cars, derby cars. I don't know. Next to it, 66 Bonneville Broham. Is that how you say it? Broham? I think so. Something like that. Really cool car. Gold on gold on gold, triple gold. I don't remember what that bench seat is called. No buckets, oddly enough, but yeah, gold top even. I don't think the top works, but 8-lug car, 400 auto. It needs, I don't know, the guy was battling wiring troubles with the top, I think, and went to great lengths to take the dash apart for reasons I'm not sure why. Like, these tops are simple as dirt to work on. I don't know why anybody would do all of this to it unless the wires were chewed up. But yeah, check that out. I have never had another one of these or even seen one. This thing's got really weird options. Like, I don't know why it never got a bucket seats put in it, but it literally got just about every other option. It's got power windows, power locks. Does that power locks? Am I full of it? I don't think it has power locks. It's got power windows, and then these wing windows are power too, which is incredibly rare. Yeah, it's got a tilt wheel, air conditioning, I believe. I don't know. I don't remember if it has air conditioning or not. But yeah, these door panels are just killer. It's too bad they're kind of dingy, but super cool car. The story that I was told about this from the guy that I got it from was that this car sat, like, it stayed at the, what was it? I believe it was the St. Louis airport, and this car was used to pick up Priscilla Presley every time she came to St. Louis. Oh gosh, where was this thing? It was from I bought it from a guy in North Arkansas. So, I don't know, it's not terribly far-fetched, but yet again, it is. Super clean body though. The body on this car is just spectacular. I'm sure it's had repaints, judging by, you know, this kind of stuff. I mean, this is where the quarter and this panel come together, so there's going to be filler here. There's filler here from the factory, but it needs paint, it needs some interior work, it needs some drivability stuff. The engine probably needs overhauled, but I mean, I drove the thing here. Yeah, because we just rolled over 100,000, so it's getting tired, but the brakes worked and everything. I drove it 70 miles an hour down the highway. They must have put tires on it too. Really cool car. This thing would be so cool if it was shiny and done up. Like, if it was mine, well, I guess it is, but if I was gonna keep it, I'd buff it and I would put carpet in it and find a dash pad for it and just roll with it and keep the top down. This thing would be mean. Speaking of mean, here is a 60 Buick, the Sabre. So I don't know how to feel about this thing. Near as I can tell, this thing lived in the Southwest for most of its life, which is why the body is as great as it is, but I know that it's had a repaint. You can tell just by looking around the edges and stuff like that. It's definitely been repainted. The interior has definitely had at least seat covers put on it, I think. It needs carpet because it's faded, but it's a super cool car. This has the, get my flashlight out. See the speedometer there? That's a mirror. And it's got this dial over here where you can move the mirror. Yeah, you can move that to your liking. And then I think this dial over here, it's got this a speed minder bar, or am I full of it? I think it does have a speed minder, yeah. So it'll buzz at you if you go too fast. Oh yeah, it is a power window car. I forgot about that. Really good driving car. I don't know if we're gonna sell this one or not. We've got probably way too much money into it. But it shows 36,000, and this is the part where I get all sideways. So we've got this sticker down here from February of '93 that showed 30,000. So I don't know if it's 130 or what. Oh gosh, that sticker's from Alberta. Holy crap. There's no way this is a northern car. It's got a Tucson badge on the back of it. So I don't know if they're on vacation or what the hell, but it is so freaking cool and so incredibly solid. I just love it. It's beautiful. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna keep it or not. I have no idea. But things like a mile long, it's just mean looking. Here is a 65, I think this is just a Catalina. Not a lot of options. 389, automatic, 2-barrel. Got fender skirts on it though. It's kind of tired, it's kind of rusty. It's, I should say, a little tired looking. It needs buffed and Comet washed really bad. But it does have some rust. Like up above these wheels here. I think those are Kelsey Hayes wheels as well. I don't know if those were off originally. I don't know if the mileage is terribly high on this thing. But the interior is really, really, really good. Yeah, radio delete. We didn't even get a clock with it. We just got fuel and battery. What does it show for mileage? 46,000? I don't know, that could go either way. Because this thing doesn't even look like it ever got sat in. Yeah, the door panels are really good. The headliner is just beautiful still. I don't know, it could go either way. It's a bummer that the body got the rust that it did. But this is a super great driving car. It's so smooth. It's dialed in, man. It's ready to eat highway. I think this side's about the same, yeah. Same rust over the wheel arch. Yeah, and there's some rust. You can't see it that well, but over that rear wheel arch, there's the same thing going on. I don't even know if I'd want to repaint it. I would probably just Comet wash it, buff it, drive it like that. I really like driving this thing. It's a really, really great driving car. This thing's kind of a rarity. 66 Grand Prix. I just got a call from the chrome shop. The bumpers are done and the headlight trim's done, so that's nice. It's got 8 lug wheels on it and a 421. It is a factory 421 car. I can't remember the horsepower rating, but it's a mover and a shaker. It's had a halfway restoration at some point. It's got the same, close to the same Yeah, I think it's the same goofy seat as that 66 Bonneville. Oh gosh, it's got power windows in it, I forgot. Power windows, tilt. I don't think it's an air car. No, it's not an air car. But it's a good driving car. I haven't got to spend much time with it, but I got it running a little better. I did some brake work to it. And then I drove it here. It's got an aftermarket stereo in it under the dash that probably needs ripped out because I don't like looking at it. But the thing gets down. It is a tire burner. And it's good looking. I mean, the bodywork wasn't super top notch. It's driver quality. It is a driver quality vehicle. And it's a good driver at that. And a 421 car, which makes it pretty damn rare. Oh no, my tire went flat. Bummer, dude. All right, the old 72 Chevy Custom 10. I have a big soft spot for these things. My dad had a 67 half-ton long bed when I was a kid. It was a V8 3 on the tree. This one's a 350 automatic. I dig the little whip antennas it's got on each mirror. It's rusty, it's crusty, but it's cool. And it drives really, really good too. Oh gosh, the dome light still works. And it has this slick interior. Gosh, what is this called? I think it's on the spid here in the glove box. Bear with me here. Orange Highlander interior. Yeah, we got the fancy door cards. And we got this super cool seat. Oh yeah, it's got the wood grain dash too. And I think it's a tilt. Yeah, it's got a tilt column in it. We got some instrumentation. We got oil, battery temp. So that's neat. It's an air car cab. It's an air cab as well. All the stuff is still there. I don't think it works. We got your original AM radio. Pretty well optioned, but it needs work. It's got a lot of surface rust on it, and the bed floor has holes where the bracing is. I forgot there's a lowering kit back here for this thing too. We got the big old rock tamers on the back, painted white of course, and the ag bumper. Not an ag bumper, I guess. That'd be an anhydrous bumper, but cool old truck. Pickup, I should say. Their pickups are under, not trucks. Don't call them trucks. Disc brakes up front, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's cool. It drives good. I like it a lot. I just don't need it, so that one can probably go. 64 Bonneville hardtop. This 64 was owned by the same guy that had the 65 back there in the corner. Again, same goofy choice of wheels. 389, probably 2-barrel automatic car. Good driver. This guy, I can't remember his name now, he made good driving vehicles out of these two. Boy, Jeffrey, you got damn close there. Really straight. It's clean. We've been repainted. I think that spot's just been touched up. It's probably been repainted. It's in a little better condition than that 65. Not as much rust. We got some rust down here though. But once again, a good driver with pretty darn good interior. Yeah, isn't that a cool dashboard in these things? Oh, this must be an air car. Cool. Yeah, because it's got the air vent up there in the middle of the dash. Wow, I forgot how good this interior is. This thing is right cozy. I think, golly, why do I even want to work on that green one we have? Yeah, this thing is sick, man. Wow, the dash isn't even cracked. We got the headliner still. How many miles does this thing show? 95,000. It's a good 95. Yeah, this thing was really spectacular driver. I'm gonna make that 65 in the corner my daily once we get a dealer plate, because the heater works and it's already rusty. So that's gonna be the winter whip. I love the front ends on these things. They're so cool. Yeah, really straight old bus, really solid car. I'm a big fan of it. These 64 coupes just look mean. All right, we'll boogie on over to the other side. Here we have another 67 Grand Prix convertible with an oil slit coming out from under it. I forgot about that. This one had an engine put in it. It's not the original engine anymore. I think we're gonna keep this one. It's either, I think it's a 400 with a 2-barrel on it, automatic. No other crazy options other than being convertible. It's got the cornering lights. I guess it's a bucket seat car. Smells like mothballs. Yeah, this one I think is gonna stick around because it matches this one. He wanted to have his and hers cars, so found 2 identical ones. Yeah, really straight, pretty darn clean. I don't know, it doesn't have a whole lot going for it, but it's a good looking car. It's a good driver, it's just not powerful. This thing though, this car, this is another 67 Grand Prix. This one is we'll go into the backstory. I picked this up down in Austin, Texas. It had sat in a garage since 1985. Bought it from the daughter of the original owner, and he ordered this thing to his liking. So it is a 428 HO 4-speed with 8 lugs, and air conditioning, and a convertible top to boot. This being an HO makes it a 390 horsepower 400. This is one of the baddest cars that you could order in 67, and probably one of the meanest 67 Grand Prix ever built. We got the PHS documents back on it. I can't remember what exactly it's made out of, but it's damn rare. We got power windows as well. No tilt, oddly enough, but you know, full console, 4-speed air conditioning. Unfortunately, he added a no, I'm at a loss. What is that? That's not 8-track, is it? What the heck is that thing? That's huge. That is way too big to be an 8-track, I believe. If you know exactly what that is, let me know. It says Pioneer on it. Maybe it is 8-track. I don't know, but that mouth looks way too big for it. Also have a CB radio, of course. You gotta have that when you're in Texas. 99,000 miles on it. And this thing drives just tremendously. This thing has so much power. It is a bad mofo. And it's probably one of the best colors that you could have got this thing in. This color combo is just killer. Yeah, a 390 horsepower, 428 HO, 4-speed. Really rare, really pretty. Next to him, 65 Grand Prix, 8-lug, 389 auto. No crazy options or anything. Just a really, really pretty straight car. Top's in good shape, paint's in good shape. Interior is just exquisite. I gotta get on the other side. Oh, it's an AC car. It's got the vacuum gauge in the middle. Yeah, this is one of the best driving cars we have, without a doubt. Handling, acceleration, brakes, it acts like it's a new car still. Yeah, these dashboards are just killer. Just absolutely to die for. I love them. This is one of the best dashboards ever made. Pontiac was known for that. These and the damn Trans Ams were just beautiful. Yeah, this thing is killer interior in it. And the color is way cool too. And the 8 lugs really help add to the equation. Yeah, super neat car. Suppose I should address this one here. 64 Impala Super Sport 4-speed. It gets better. $409. It is a numbers matching 409 car. The engine numbers match. I don't think the transmission does, but it is a period correct Borg-Warner T10 4-speed. This thing is a rip snorting good time. So it kind of ran when I got it. I did a tune-up, oil change, went through the carburetor, put brakes on it, made it reliable. And it's a mover and a shaker. Now I don't know if it's gonna hang with these Pontiacs, but it's pretty cool. It was not red originally. I think it was a green color originally, which explains the goofy color combo with the fawn colored interior. So in my mind, this thing either needs different interior put in it or a different paint job. There you can see the console with the 4-speed, big old tack right on top of the steering column. SS door panels. The interior's in good shape, don't get me wrong, but the colors just don't jive together. I think that I'd rather leave the interior the fawn color and then paint the outside green again. I believe it was green. But yeah, pretty slick old car, isn't it? It's a beauty. That's a hot rod. It's really cool. It's straight, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like the red. If you have a red 64 convertible with a white top and white interior, that's in good shape. Doesn't even need to be an SS. Get a hold of me, because I would trade this hardtop for a convertible. Has to be red, has to be a 64, has to have a white top, has to have a white interior. But I would be interested in trading this hardtop 409 4-speed for even, I don't know, just a base V8 convertible. Let me know. 55 Pontiac Star Chief Convertible. This thing was repainted and had the interior redone at some point not too long ago. It's got like 300 miles on it since it was apart. I need to put the top back down so that I can get that window rolled up, which is why it looks goofy. But it has power windows and a power seat. I don't think it's a tilt. No, it's not a tilt. I don't know if they had tilt back then. Cool car though. Very cool. Interior is pretty. A lot of fun to drive with the top down. It's a good driving car. Runs really smooth. Automatic, if I didn't say that already. Hood ornament lights up, of course. You gotta have that. My favorite part about these is the quarter panels. So they got kind of a bump up right there, and then they've got these waterfall trim pieces off the back. I think that's really sharp. It's really cool. But it's just a little too old for us. I like this thing a lot. This is a 66 Caprice. Original 396 4-speed car. It's had some work done to it. Previous owner put a double pumper and an HEI distributor in it. That carburetor might be a bit much for it. I think it's got an 850 on it, which is overkill. Then he put these wheels on it. I've got the original steel wheels still. So he bought these aftermarket chrome rallies, which are all right. They need bigger tires though. Those tires aren't big enough for this car. I think we figured that this has 373 gears in it. This thing gets down. It is a tire fryer. It's got really cool interior. I love this blue color with the black vinyl top and the black interior with the wood grain. Buckets, aftermarket air, which doesn't work, but it's got the neatest center console ever made. 4-speed with the gauges in it. Then up here we have a tack, 120 mile an hour speedometer. This thing gets down. It's a good driver as it is. It's got some rust and the interior isn't perfect. It mainly needs carpet. Everything else is pretty darn good. Back seat got a little cracked up top from the sun. Come to expect it. But it's a mover and a shaker. And it's an attention getter. Yeah, if you keep the RPMs wound up, this thing will scratch all the gears. It's a good time. Here's another goofball. 63 Pontiac Bonneville 389 4-speed convertible. This is one of the cleanest examples of these cars I've ever seen. I think it came from down south or west, I don't know. I don't remember. But gosh, this body is just spectacular on this thing. Floors are great. There's no carpet in it, so you can see the floors. But yeah, they're just awesome. I got a dash pad for it. I don't know where it's at. It's in one of the other buildings, yeah. I think I've got the rest of the door pulls. I don't know why they did what they did to this thing. I don't have any carpet, but 4-speed car, 389. It runs really good. It drives good. It'd be a great car to restore. It's not crazy option, but you know, it's a 4-speed convertible with 8 lugs and it's a Bonneville. And 63 is a great year for these things. I love all the trim that they got. Especially the fender and door trim. And the stacked headlights are a great look. Yeah, good running car, good driving car. It'd be a great project for somebody. I'd keep it, but I have a black 63 Catalina that I want to keep instead. It's a black convertible with buckets, a 4-speed, and power windows. This body's nicer, but that other Catalina is a better option. So I'd get rid of this in order to keep that black 63. There you have it. Here is everything that I worked on before the channel, basically. Patiently awaiting its new home. So let's recap. What am I gonna keep here? These two 67 convertibles are gonna stick around. The 64 would go probably if I could find somebody to trade for it. This 2+2 ain't going anywhere. The Grand Prix or Grand Am I could be talked out of, I guess. Yeah, I probably could for the right price. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep driving it just like it is. Then the LeSabre, it'd have to be real money to get talked out of this LeSabre. Probably could get talked out of it, but I doubt it. Everything else is gonna be up for grabs. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for listening to my rambling. Hope you enjoyed these hot rods. I really wish I would have had the wherewithal to make videos of them when I got them, but oh well. There will be more, right? Please like, comment, subscribe. Really helps my channel. Really, that little bit of traffic right there, any traffic at all on the channel, really helps me keep doing what I'm doing. All right, I'll talk at you guys later. Thanks.